Morning, everybody. Time to go to work. Time to go back. We're gonna attempt to get out of the driveway here and see how it goes. Stuff feels like it's frozen, and there's ice on the road. It's about 12 degrees outside. Wow, look at that layer on the road there. And I'm struggling to get traction on. And there's a roundabout. See how this goes. I have made the executive decision to take the interstate this morning to get back to work. I'm not gonna use the same roads that I used in my previous video to get there. I think that'd be a bad mistake to do that. So we're just gonna drive slow and hope that we don't lose traction. It's not really what I would consider ideal to be doing this, but my company seems to think that work is possible today, and I can't argue with them because they're my employer, so I'm not the boss. Guys, don't get me wrong, it's not that I haven't done this before, it's not that I can't do this, it's just that it's been a long ass time. In order to possess and maintain a skill, you have to practice. You gotta practice. Otherwise, you'll lose that skill, right? Like I play guitar. Here's an example. I play guitar. I've been playing guitar since I was 15 years old, so technically I've been playing guitar for the past, oh shit. Just trying to slow down on this curve. Let's see, how long is that? 20, almost 25 years. Nearly 25 years I've been playing guitar. Well, guess what? I'm not as good at it as I used to be. Why? Because I don't practice, you know. Well, this is no different. So, you know, I might slide around a little bit, to say the least. These roads are pretty bad. They're actually quite bad, quite worse than I thought they would be. And I don't know if it's gonna look like this the whole way or if it just looks like this in this area, but I'm pretty confident in saying that it's probably gonna look like this the whole way. And it probably will look like this for quite some time. Like I said in my previous video, this stuff, it ain't gonna go away until this weekend. It might clear up a little bit, it might evaporate a little bit from the sun, but you know, temperature's not gonna get up above freezing for long enough for it to really go much of anywhere. I'm watching my little traction control light. Can you guys see it? And honestly, I don't feel too confident in getting over, I don't know, 35 miles an hour. It's a beautiful morning. Let's not make it a deadly morning. Could you imagine me trying to go down that long hill now? The one in my last video, trying to go up it. Hey guys, we got an incline coming up. I don't really know what's gonna happen here, but I'm gonna keep going. This is the first really noticeable one. Okay, I'm feeling good about that. That wasn't so bad. Probably need to take it easy right here. There's some stopped vehicles. It's an ice rink out here. I mentioned Highway 81 in the previous video. I'm gonna try to get out there to Highway 81 and then go through McDonough and get to 75 that way. I was looking at the Georgia DOT website and there appears to be some crashes on the interstate, but they look like they're all south of that area. So I'm just hoping that nothing changes between here and there. God, look at this, guys. The way this is looking, I honestly don't know if I'm gonna make it to work like this. Because once I come up on some serious hills, I don't know. I can't really say. I'm hoping that once I get out to those main roads, especially the state highways, that those roads will be treated. And maybe it's just these roads that aren't. Hoping that's the case. Funny thing is, I showed you guys those messages that my company left about, you know, if the road is icy, shut down. Well, the road's icy. I'm pretty sure this is ice, right? Pretty sure. It's not, it might not be that thick, but it's thick enough to cover the surface of the road. Okay, let's see if she wants to turn for us. Got an overly zealous pickup truck coming up behind me. He had to be driving pretty fast to catch up with me that fast, you know. Let's see how she stops. I just got a message from my company. I'm gonna pull over real quick and check what it says. Alright. Okay, they're not gonna want to hear this, but this says If you feel it is unsafe, please remain shut down in a safe place and resume when you feel it is safe to do so. So I'm gonna call them and tell them, because when I tried to make that turn just now, I pretty much was gliding across ice. And if my car's doing that, then I definitely know that my truck, you know, it's not gonna fare any better, especially if I'm bobtailing, which I'll have to do. So I'm gonna call them and tell them that maybe I need to wait a little bit longer before I attempt to head back over there. Good morning, this is 204-317.
Yes, how can I help you?
Just calling to give you an update on my status. I'm in my personal vehicle right now. I just tried to turn left at an intersection and I slid across it. It's like solid ice where I'm at. So I think I'm gonna make a U-turn back to the house until it improves a little bit.
That's the safest bet. Drive safely and use your Smith system.
Okay.
That following distance and just drive safe, okay?
All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you heard the man. Use Smith system even in your car. I'm gonna go back home, guys. This is ridiculous. Look at this. Like my at least they're being cool about it. They're being understanding. God, could you imagine the guy I used to work for? I don't know, he might have been cool about it too, because that guy was Jamaican. And he might be in bed right now with his head under a pillow, not knowing what to think or do. That company, they're still running those Scott's loads. When I got out on the road this morning and turned the camera on, I really didn't, I mean, I honestly didn't know if I was gonna make it to work or not. I decided I wanted to check the roads out to see how they were. I didn't know they were gonna be this damn bad. This is pretty freaking bad, guys. And it's 18 degrees outside, even in the sunshine right now. So I'm gonna go back home, and the temperature is gonna warm up today for a little while. But like I said, it's not gonna get rid of all this stuff. It's just not. It's just not. It'll evaporate some of it. The main concern I have is that I try to go up a hill or something, and I see that the road is no better on Highway 81 out there as it is on this road. They haven't treated any of these damn roads. But when you look at the Georgia DOT website, I'll show you guys what it looks like. You can't tell what condition the roads are in. It doesn't show you that. Or if it does, I somehow overlooked it. Sucks. I need to work. I need to be making money. But I just have a feeling that it wouldn't go well. Even say if I did make it all the way to work in my car, it wouldn't fare well. I wouldn't think. If it's anything like it is here over there in Palmetto, and they're the CSX Fairburn ramp is closed today. They shut that place down. Yeah, come out here and jog in the ice. Come out here and jog in the ice until you slip and break your kneecap. What the hell? I hope she's at least wearing, you know, ice cleats or something. That's crazy. We'll see what happens. I might get back with you later on. But yeah, I figured I'd try it out, and I'm not confident about it. I'm not liking the way this feels. If my life depended on it, you know, if I had somebody holding a gun to my head saying go back to work, then I would do it. But they're not giving me a hard time about it, which I really appreciate. You know, you heard the guy, you heard what he said. So I'm not gonna stress it, you know. And I figured that, like I said, even if I didn't come home yesterday and I stayed in the truck, I would probably feel the same way. But I wouldn't have the luxury of being at home. I'd be stuck in my truck. So I figured it would be the same thing either way. Either stuck at home or stuck in the truck. So as long as they're cool with me waiting it out, then that's what I'm gonna do, for sure. It's not worth getting in an accident or getting stuck. There's a lot of hills on Highway 81 back there, especially when you go toward McDonough. There's Jonesboro Road on the other side of McDonough Square, which gets to the interstate, and it's an extremely hilly road. And I don't trust Henry County, you know, the county that the city of McDonough's in. I don't trust that they have touched any of their surface streets at all. Because if they're not treating the main highways, they're not going to treat anything else. It may be that the only thing they've treated is the interstate. This is a new kind of predicament though, guys. I haven't really had to deal with this a lot in my area since I became a truck driver. All the normal people know better. They're not even on the road. It's pretty to look at though. And I literally, like, I can't go anywhere. My house, it's like surrounded by hills. I wanted to add this to my previous video though, and show you guys that, yeah, it's a bigger deal than what they said it was gonna be, for sure. I don't know, I give it maybe till the end of the day though, and it might be good enough to go back to work. It kind of sucks because there's really nothing to do at home either. My family, they're still over at my sister-in-law's house. My wife didn't even come home last night. And with her being a nurse and everything, like her company, they're not always as understanding as, ironically, my company is. So I hope she's not planning on driving in this stuff. Wonder how many drivers they have calling in this morning saying that they can't get to work, or if I'm the only one. Even if I'm the only one, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't get paid enough to drive on stuff like this, to be honest with you. It's not worth it to me. I will say that, you know, the one good thing about all this is that I'm learning, because like I said, this never happens here, so I at least am learning, you know, about how accurate my assumptions can be, because like I said in the previous video, I figured that this was going to be a debilitating issue and concern for today, and that was my main motive to go home. And like I said, like I was like, this is going to come down and it's going to stay on the road for quite some time, and they're not going to do anything about it. And from the look of it, that's what's happening here. The reason why they're not doing anything about it is because they don't really have, like I said, they don't have the resources to do anything about it, and so they really just expect people to stay home. And I'd feel a lot better if I had like a 4-wheel drive vehicle. But even with a 4-wheel drive vehicle, you still have to come to a stop. You know what I'm saying? So all right, well, maybe later, maybe next time. World that I can't go to work, but you know, because nobody else is here, my wife's not going to be here probably all day. Somebody's got to take care of this puppy. So you can't just leave me here all by myself. What if I have to pee? What if I have to pee? She actually loves the snow. She didn't want to come in last night when I let her out. She loves it. She freaked out the first time she saw it, you know, when it snowed 2 weeks ago. I think that may have been the first time she ever experienced snow. Maybe she did a little bit back in, I want to say maybe 2019, maybe. But that was a long time ago. You want to go out? You want to go out? She's more curious about it than anything else. Did you change your mind? It's cold out here, isn't it? It's like 20 degrees outside. Okay. So yeah, guys, catch you on the flip side, I guess. We'll try this again. And guys, I'm gonna end this video the same way I started it. Just pointing out how my company is sending mixed messages. Now at about 7:30 this morning, I sent a message asking, do we know when an update will come regarding travel in the area? Because the last one, I think I showed you this last one last night, where they had shut Atlanta down. And they sent me a message back that says, y'all should be able to start running after 9. We are waiting. I don't know if they meant wanting or waiting for the rail to get back to us. Okay, well, the rail did get back to them, and that's when they said CSX Fairburn just closed their gates. That's actually from last night. They closed yesterday, okay? And then this one says at 9:30, we need to make sure we are making good decisions today. GQ, and that's the Fairburn Rail, is closed, and a lot of customers in South Georgia, Savannah, and South Carolina are closed as well. There is not reason to get in a rush or make a bad decision. If it is not safe where you, please remain shut down. Once back to driving, keep even more space around your vehicle. Okay, so they sent that one at 9:30, okay? And they sent this one not that long ago. This was like about an hour ago, 11. It says, drivers, if you are south of Atlanta, please do not attempt to travel unless necessary. So guys, keep in mind, this is 2 hours after the guy told me that we were supposed to start up at 9. Okay. So I left my house at about 8, knowing that I wasn't going to make it there by 9, but I would at least be able to start sometime after that. And that's when I realized how bad things really are out there. But at this point, you know, it took them a couple of hours to even realize that the roads are so bad right now. It took them 2 hours to actually send this message to everybody after telling them to start up at 9. Then they changed their mind. And they say, if you're south of Atlanta, which I'm south of Atlanta, my house is, the terminal in Palmetto is also south of Atlanta. It says, please do not attempt to travel. Okay, so that means that Atlanta is still shut down. Okay, but then about 30 minutes ago, they sent another message that says, again, as we get started back up today, please be mindful that some roads are still not good. Do not use jakes or crews. These can lead to loss of control and jackknife. And, you know, all the, like, repeating mantra safety worshiping statements that they send. And they do say, again, if you feel it is unsafe, please remain shut down in a safe place and resume when you feel it is safe to do so. The rail in Fairburn will be closed all day today. Now, there's only a couple of reasons why I can determine, or just trying to think about all this logically, and the fact that, you know, they're saying don't drive, but then they're saying when you do start back up, it's confusing. It's like it's mixed messages where, you know, they're telling us to do two different things. We've got maybe multiple people on the upper end, the crescendo end of the company, you know, the higher ups, telling us different things. Like, you got some people thinking that we should start at 9 o'clock this morning. You got some people saying, you know, telling us to shut down. And I know it's a little bit different for me because I'm already shut down. I've been shut down since I left the truck yesterday. So I'm taking that to mean that they're talking to people that are in their trucks and still attempting to drive out there, which I think is a really bad choice right now. So the person that told everybody south of Atlanta to shut down, I think they've got the right idea, but they're also trying to put it in our heads that when we do start up, and I know that that's going to involve different factors in different areas, but I mean, let's get logical. This is really what I'm saying. Like, we knew that this storm was coming. We knew how low the temperature was going to be, and we knew that it was going to involve bad, dangerous road conditions. We knew this a week ago. We knew this was coming. But they're acting surprised by it, like they didn't plan on shutting down at all. And, you know, then they start putting guidelines about, you know, the basis of when and where the people need to shut down at. But then they change it and they tell us, you know, if you're out there, if you're south of Atlanta, shut down. Don't attempt to travel unless necessary. So guys, the only thing that I can chalk it up to is that we've got a bunch of Southerners pretending to be Yankees, but they're starting to realize that it's not going to work out so well. I can show you another one. I'm not going to take the time to do this. But I got another message yesterday, and it was warning us to, you know, leave more space around our vehicles. And it says the people in the passenger vehicles, they're not as skilled as you are, so just keep an eye out for them and make sure that you leave enough space around your vehicle. Well, you can't presume that anybody from Georgia is gonna be okay, let alone driving a passenger, you know, a four-wheeler around in this. But then when you talk about a truck, a bobtail, or a tractor and a trailer, no, we're not gonna know what to do. You know, we're not in practice, especially the people that have had the job that I have now, particularly for a long time, because we don't go up north and we're not used to this kind of weather, and we don't drive around in this, so we're not really that skilled at it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it takes practice to gain these skills and master these skills, but if it doesn't ever snow in your area where you live, then how are you ever going to have the exposure to get that practice? Therefore, it's going to be something that's difficult to retain unless you do it on a regular basis. That's really what I'm saying. So, I think ultimately I was right. I was in the right for coming home yesterday. And I think that, you know, the whole point of this video was just to show you what the roads look like right now, presently as I speak. And, you know, this company, they're about, you know, they put safety as a number one priority, but they're sending us mixed signals like, don't drive, but when you do drive, make sure that you do this and this and this. And it's kind of it's confusing, it's kind of frustrating, it's off-putting, where I kind of feel like at some points I'm like, do I really want to drive? No, I don't want to drive at all. I don't want to be on the road at all right now. But my company is saying, when you do start today, make sure that you do this and this and this and this. But if it feels unsafe, then get off the road. So and then on top of that, after telling us that we're supposed to start at 9 o'clock, 2 hours later saying, oh, by the way, if you're south of Atlanta, shut down now. Don't travel unless necessary. It's confusing and it's frustrating, you know? So it's like, I'm just going to use my intuition. I'm going to have to like ignore a lot of these messages that my company is sending me. Like, the way I look at it, I'm not really that much of a professional. I don't have a lot of know-how when it comes to winter driving. I figured that they would. I mean, they should, right? They're a huge mega carrier, you know, they've dealt with plenty of storms in the past. They know what happens when trucks get out there on the road in icy conditions, so they know it's not a good combination to begin with. But they wanted to ignore it until it was actually here, and then even after it came, they tried to act like it was just going to go away. Well, it hasn't gone away, it's still out there. So, I mean, if it were me that was sending out these messages, I would have told everybody yesterday, like, look, it's coming down, it's too late, stop, you know, there's going to be ice here, the temperature's not going to rise, so just stay off the road. Give it a good 8 to 10 hours of sunlight until it starts to evaporate some, maybe, and then go ahead and try to give it a go. But don't attempt to do it until most of this ice is off the road, and it's going to take it longer than usual to go away because the temperature is not going to rise. You know, and even when it does rise and it gets over 32 degrees today, it's only going to be for an hour or two that it's over the freezing point. So once it drops back down, guess what? You're going to have actually more ice come back on the road because it's the stuff that's frozen is going to melt and then it's going to refreeze. So, I mean, it's logical sense, really. Either you want us to drive in this shit or you don't. Make up your mind and be straightforward about it. Stop sending mixed signals, you know, because I'm really wondering right now, when they told everybody to start at 9 o'clock this morning, how many people started and got out there, and only to be told 2 hours later, get off the road? What was the point of that? Were there any accidents? Is that why they changed their mind? Were there accidents that were happening? Well, that's what's going to happen if you try to put trucks on the road when there's ice on the road. You know, plain and simple. And that's what I want to say. So thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Later.